start so I don't forget with the minutes from the December 6th. I didn't have any issues with them. Bill and Lee, how are you guys?
No, we're good. I'm good.
Okay, Colleen, so those are approved.
Okay.
Septic, I'll give you my little quickie septic report. There's only one of them that from Alan Weiss, and it's at 533 Amherst Road. It's a repair 3-bedroom house, a complete system. The fee is paid, the review's complete. It's a small cleared lot, very limited area, and it's in the back, a walkout basement. It's got slopes going to the left and the right, and then a really steep slope down to the pond that's down in the back. Water table, they didn't see any water, and they went down to 120 inches, the two holes, public water. The issues are the small lot with the slopes, and it stops you from being able to put in trenches. And the steep pitch, really steep pitch going down to the back and to the pond. And his design is for a 1,500-gallon 2-compartment tank without an outlet filter, just a standard tank. He's got 3 galleries that are 4 feet by 6 feet by 12 inches in series, and he's sitting in a stone excavation, wash stone excavation, that's 12 by 35 by 24-inch sidewall, and no vents on this. He's got 450 gallons a day provided and 440 required. He's got 5-foot water table separation. He did put fill underneath the rock in the excavation, so there is fill that's required. And if they're going to end up ripping out, if they find the existing SAS, they'll have to replace it with fill. No ballast is required. He's got some siltation control that he specified. Going to pump and remove the existing septic tank. He's requiring, there's a garbage disposal. He's requiring that be taken out. And he says it may need a new building sewer as well. The separation from the SAS and the septic tank to the wetlands is greater than 100 feet. Wells are not an issue with the public water supply. He had an issue that's correct, 2 issues. The north arrow on the main drawing, the main plan view was wrong, and he fixed that. And Alan's been specifying wash stone under the tank and under the D box as compared with the crushed compacted stone that code requires. That's fixed also. And so what he really also would need, what we should discuss, is requiring a plumbing permit for the new building sewer if it's required, and the removal of the garbage disposal, our fill regulations, and a trench permit. So, Bill, I noticed that you had a comment that went to Alan.
One of our commissioners went and met with him yesterday, Dick. He's going to file for RDA for a simple wetlands permit, just to verify and work on the details for the erosion control. So that's fine. There'll be enough.
So we should add that he needs to file with Conservation Commission. That should be added to our requirements.
Yep. Thank you.
Lee, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, between the conservation being out there and everything else that you just went over, they should be completely ready for install.
Okay. So Colleen, we'll approve this one, and it's subject to our fill regulation, a trench permit, a plumbing permit for the building sewer if that's needed, but also a plumbing permit for the removal of the garbage disposal, and filing with Conservation Commission.
Okay.
Okay, then we can move then. How about, Colleen's timesheet as I'm working at a new spot in the house. I don't have because I've had trouble with my signal. So I'm in the family room, but I don't have a table. So, I'll go through it. So Colleen's timesheet is, 70 hours, a normal 70 hours for December 17th, 2 weeks. Are we okay with that?
Yes,
Yep, that's good, Dick.
Okay, all three of us are, Colleen, I am too, so that's approved. You can sign it. Next one
Okay.
is the payments to the treasurer. There's a total of $3,790. Of that, $1,245 are Board of Health permits. $2,495 for licenses and various, a whole bunch of the licenses. And $50 for Board of Health fees. And that's it, totaling $3,790. Are we okay with that?
yes,
Yes, we're good.
I am too, Colleen, so that's approved. Next
Okay.
one is purchase requisition. That Colleen's put in for to Quill for Avery address labels for 1828, file folders for 36.99, fax cartridge for 26.99, mechanical pencils $5.99, pilot black pens for $14.99, totaling $109.69. Are we okay with that?
Yep,
yes,
I am too, Colleen, so that's approved. Next
Okay.
one is, I guess this one's for you, Lee. This is at, we've got a Sherwood, 14 Sherwood Drive. Neil Jackson, this is a tank and D-box, I guess. Are we,
correct.
and are we set with that, Lee?
Yes, I was there. It's installed. No issue whatsoever.
Okay, I'm okay with that. Bill, are you?
yes, I'm good, thank you.
I am, so, and Lee is too, Colleen, so that's approved. Next
Okay.
one, certificate of compliance, again for you, Lee, this is at 5 Harris Street. Installer was Jeff Lucier. And,
Yes, that was a new tank and new D-box.
are we okay with that?
Yes, thank you. Yep,
I am
Yep.
good to YouTube, Bill,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yes, I'm good, thank you.
Okay, Colleen, you can assign that, that's approved.
Okay.
Next one, system construction permit for replace the septic tank and D-box. And this one is for 58 Porter Street.
That's the COC.
It looks like that's installed too. Huh? Lee, are we all set with that one?
yeah, we should be fine.
Okay. Are you good with that, Bill?
Yeah, yeah, I'm good, Dick, thank you. Yep,
Okay.
thank you.
So Colleen, that's approved.
Okay.
I am too. Alan, I see you're sitting there. We did approve yours on Amherst Road. We've got, let me see what we did. We did it subject to a plumbing permit if it needs a new building sewer plus a plumbing permit for the removal of the garbage disposal are subject to our fill regulations, the trench permit, and also submission for review to the Conservation Commission.
I'm on board.
So we're all set. And,
Okay.
and we're done with you. Have
Yeah,
a
thank
good
you.
rest.
I
Have a
just
good-
wanted,
Go ahead.
no, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say thanks to Bill Shaheen, of course. I'm not surprised, and David DeSillitz was nice enough to come out and meet me right away. we went out there and got everything to Kathy Leonard so that that can go forward in January.
Okay. Have a good rest of your holidays.
Thanks much. Good night, everyone.
Good
You
night.
all,
Good night, Al.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Okay, good night.
Night.
My next one, hopefully I didn't jump, 119 North Street. This one is a construction, a permit, this is a complete system replacement. This is designed by Ed Bob LeMay. Lee, is this all done or is this just a perm? It looks like it's done, huh?
Yes, that's a complete install. Greg Everson did this a couple weeks back. Bob Sheen Design.
Okay, so we just, so this is a completion one, right?
Yes, that's, it should be.
Okay, certificate of compliance.
Yeah.
So you're set with it? Are
I
you
am.
also, Bill?
Yeah, it looks fine. It looks fine. Thank you.
I am too, Colleen, so that's approved.
Okay,
Next one, certificate of compliance at 134 Aldrich Street, Jodwin. And Lee, it looks, you signed off on this one. It looks like this one is a tank and a D-box, I think, huh?
Yes, Jeff Lucier again, same thing, brand new tank, brand new D-box.
Are we okay with this one?
Yes, it's all in, all good.
Okay, Bill, are you?
Yeah, looks good. Thank you.
Okay, me too, Colleen, so that's approved.
okay,
Next one is sign off on the building department, building permit. And this one is for 379 Bachelor Street for an addition. Colleen, you said we've approved this one already?
yes. Yeah, the permit was approved in August, the end of August.
Okay, okay.
Neil
So,
Jackson.
so are we okay with this one, Lee and Bill? So this one is just stamping what we've already approved, I guess.
Yeah, I remember going over this. That's fine, Dick. Thank you. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
Lee? Me too, Colleen, so that's approved.
Okay, so I can sign that. All right.
Yes. Next one is for clean septics. There's two of them here. One is a pumper. This is a renewal for next year. This is installer and hauler, two permits. Are we okay with this for clean septic for Toretti?
Yeah,
Yes, yeah,
that's
I am
fine.
too, Colleen, so that's approved.
Okay,
Next one is another renewal. This is installer for Gary Pasquini of Gary's Construction. Are we okay with that?
Yes, good on my end.
Me too, Colleen, so that's approved. Next
Okay.
one is another renewal for a hauler permit. This is Candace Parker for Parker's Portables. A renewal, portable restrooms. Are we okay with this one?
Looks good. Looks good for me, Dick.
Lee, are you all set?
yes, thank you.
Okay, Colleen, I am too, so that's approved.
okay,
Next are the two of them is for River Drive Excavating. We've got an installer permit and a hauler permit. They're both renewals. Lee and Bill, are you guys okay with this?
Yes,
Yes,
I am too, Colleen, so that's approved.
okay,
Next one, there are actually four here. This is the CR Corner Store. 102 New Ludlow Road. We've got a tobacco, a frozen desserts and ice cream, retail foods, and milk and cream. These are renewals. Are we okay with the 4 of those?
And a food establishment,
And a food establishment, I'm sorry, okay.
there's 5, yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yep, good on my side.
Me too, Colleen, so those are all approved.
Okay,
Next one is CVS Pharmacy. Looks like there's 3 here. And we've got a food establishment.
no, just a retail food and milk.
Oh, retail food. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have an application for
Yeah, that's
food
the
establishment.
Yeah,
Okay.
the application, food establishment, it
Okay.
covers all of them.
Okay, so we've got to sell retail food, to sell milk and cream. So it's only the 2 of those, Colleen?
Yes. They don't,
Okay.
yeah. don't sell
Okay,
tobacco in.
okay, are we set with both of those? Lee and
Yeah,
Bill?
yeah. Yep, good on my side, Dick.
Okay,
Yes, all set.
okay, Lee, I'm guessing you're gonna have to, you're next on this. I'm guessing you're gonna have to abstain.
Conflict of interest, so I will
Yeah.
not participate in the next.
So Colleen, could you just make a note that Lee said he's got a conflict of interest? This is a retail food sales for Granby Pharmacy doing business as Center Pharmacy. Bill, are you okay with this?
Of course, yep.
And I am too. So Colleen, that's approved.
Okay,
Next one is food license to Church of Christ, renewal for next year. Are we set with that?
Yes,
Yes, we're good.
I am too, Colleen. So that's
Okay.
approved. Next one is Cumberland Farms. And we have for that one a food establishment, this license to sell retail food, to sell milk and cream, the manufacturing of frozen desserts and or ice cream, and a tobacco permit. Are we set with all of those?
That's for Cumberland's, Dick?
Cumberland,
Yeah, yes, that's good.
Lee,
yes.
and me
thank you.
too, Colleen, so those are all approved.
okay.
The next one, and I'm not sure where we are on this one, it's Dollar General. And we've got a license to sell retail foods, a license to sell milk and cream, and a tobacco permit. So it looks like we've got 3 of those. And you said, Colleen, that we had an issue with this one, right?
Well, the tobacco license, usually the stores will send a copy of their Department of Revenue state licenses. So everyone has done that, but Dollar General, I don't know if they pulled an old application from somewhere because it didn't have that requirement on it and they never sent it. So I've emailed a couple of times for them to send their state licenses a copy so that we have those. But I haven't seen those yet, so.
I guess what we could do is we could approve the retail foods and the milk and cream. And we could just approve those. We just do that. Are we, Bill, and then we'll talk about tobacco. So can we approve those 2?
Sure, I think that would be fine.
Lee?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Okay, so Colleen, also support that. So we've approved those two permits. We
Those two,
could,
okay.
where I'm concerned is I'd like not to have them in a position that the new year comes by, we haven't given them a tobacco permit and they're trying to sell without a permit. What
Hmm.
my suggestion would be is that we approve it upon Colleen's receipt of the copies of the license. If we do it, then tonight we've got them in a spot that if they've got it, they can keep operating. And because our next meeting's not going to be after the first of the year, but it does give Colleen then something for them to go back to them and say, look at, on the first of the year, if you don't get this thing to me, and it's got to be while Colleen is working. If they don't get it to her, they have to stop selling tobacco as of the first of the year.
Yeah, yeah,
And
because they
Colleen
need a tax certificate, right? They need an active tax certificate.
No, it's a state license for selling tobacco.
Yeah, don't they need a DOR certificate too, Colleen, for tax? They need a
Just a certificate or the cigarette and tobacco, whatever they sell, DOR licenses.
Right, that's right, right. Okay.
So Colleen, if you can get back to them tomorrow and say,
Yep.
just so you know that well, are we going to agree to do that? Lee and Bill, is that what we're going to do? We'll approve it only pending Colleen's receipt of these licenses.
Now, what happens if on the 2nd of January, she hasn't received the licenses?
It says at the 1st of January, they cannot be selling. And that's what she's got to let them know, that they, as of the 1st of January, at midnight on the 1st of January, or
Okay.
12:01 on the 1st of January, they have to stop selling.
Okay. I agree. That's a good policy.
Lee, how about you?
So if they don't communicate, then no one's going to be here on the 1st or the 2nd, which is okay. So on the 3rd, theoretically, what department or agency is Colleen going to be in touch with?
Well, the Board of Health is going to end up having to go in and saying, you're doing this illegally. And then they're going to get fined. Okay. Then we're going to end up they're going to get some heavy duty fines from the state. We'll get tobacco control in there and get them for.
That's all right. I forgot the name of it, and you just reminded me, tobacco control. So they'll pick up the ball on the 3rd, theoretically, and do the rest.
Yeah, and I would guess what's going to happen is somebody is going to go and see if they're selling, and if they're selling, then they are going to, I think, turn your head, since you've told them you can't sell if you don't do that, and you sell without a license. I think selling tobacco without a license is not a big joke.
Well, yeah, that's paramount to selling alcohol without a license. So even though the 1st is on a Sunday, New Year's is on a Sunday, so Monday is the legal holiday?
No, it says this is regardless of what it is, this is a calendar date.
Okay, so actually the 2nd, I think, Lee, the 2nd, they'd be open the 1st and the 2nd. The 2nd is a Monday.
Right.
Right, and I didn't know if that was an observed holiday, like it's going to be.
Yeah, that's what I was asking as well.
For December 26th.
Right.
It probably is, but if they end up letting them know that their permit runs out on the at midnight on, or whatever, midnight, the first of the year, and they can't sell. I'm sure they understand they need a license.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
without question, yeah.
I have no doubt this is gonna come in before then. So, okay,
Yeah,
so
I-
that's
oh.
what we, Colleen, that's what we voted. The three of us voted that we'll approve this license pending you having the copy of those state licenses in your hand.
Yep, okay. Yeah, I'll call them tomorrow.
Okay. The next one is, watch, I'm putting my things in different places here. The next one is food service establishment for May's Pizzeria. It's also a renewal for next year. Are we good with that?
Yep. Where is that located?
That's the old Little Italy.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I am too, Colleen, so that's approved.
Okay,
The next is a permit to operate a food service establishment. This is Pizza Palace, Martinez Pizza. Are we okay with that?
Yes,
I am too, Colleen,
Yeah.
so that's approved. Next
Okay.
one is food establishment at the McDuffie School. It's Sage at the McDuffie School. Are we okay with that one?
Yes,
and milk. I have milk
It
too.
has milk too, huh? I guess I missed that. So food service establishment and milk for the Sage. Are we okay?
yep. I'm gonna recuse myself, Dick. That's a client of mine.
Okay, so Lee said yes, and I said yes. Colleen, so it's approved with Bill reclusing.
Okay,
Next one is food establishment at Subway at West State Street. Are we okay with that?
Yes,
yes,
Yes, for me too, Colleen, that's approved. Next
Okay.
one is a motel permit for Granby Motel. Are we okay with that? I am.
yeah, I'm good.
Lee? Okay, so
Yes.
we all three agree, that's approved. Next
Okay.
one is a hair salon, Five Corners Cuts at West State, 77 West Street. Are we okay with that one?
I'm good.
I am. Bill?
Yes,
I am too. So all three of us are good with that.
okay.
Next one that we have moving off of that, Title V inspection report. We've got 134 Aldrich Street. That was Neil Jackson says it passes. We've gone over, done it. Okay, well, let's do that. Are we okay, Lee, with that? We are. It's something we just discussed it, right? So we can receive that.
yes,
Oh, Bill, you're okay to receive that
Ye-
too?
yes, yes.
That we do have the one that from Kibbe, that's kind of bounced around. That's the 94 and the 96R Bachelor Street, the Title V report. It's interesting. That's the one we didn't accept. We didn't receive it because the building inspector said one of them, in his view, wasn't a dwelling, and then he came back with another letter saying he thinks it was a dwelling. And my question is, according to Title V, it looks like all they have to do is mail it. We're just kind of a collector of these reports. We're not passing judgment on them. if someone mails one in, they mail one in and we receive it. It doesn't ask us to say anything about it. And I don't see any reason why we just don't receive it. Lee and Bill, what are your thoughts?
What's the address again, Dick?
This one is 94/96 rear Bachelor Street. I think that this is, if you're coming down Bachelor Street, and I think, and turn left and head towards Belchertown, I think it's right in that little area. I think Shower maybe was, or used to be Shower on the corner at Cook's Corner. And I think as you
Oh,
head towards Belchertown on the left, I think there's a couple little houses on a
Yeah,
left.
yeah, I know where it is.
let me get my, give me a
It's all sand and gravel there, Dick, right?
Yeah, with a high water table.
Yeah, with a high water table.
let me just check the street list quickly here. I think, let me see.
Yeah, there's a little
Okay.
stub street.
You know where this is? This is down by Jerry Lane, going the other way, Dick.
Goes the other way. Okay.
Down across from Darrell Avenue.
Okay.
Oh,
So
it
it's
is,
another
okay.
place.
The,
Oh, that's right, yeah,
the-
that's right, because Gary Phelps is 137, and he's on the west leg of Bachelor, you're right. So it is, it's
Okay.
between North Street and Amherst Street, you're
Yeah,
right.
so there's
Yeah.
several little houses that are off the road in there on that's what the south side, I guess.
Yes. So it must be abutting the lake then. It must be on the lake.
Well, I don't think so. I think at that point, Bill, I think Bachelor Brook is coming in there someplace, but it's not as far down as there. If Porter Street comes in,
Oh, you know where it's near?
To the-
It's near
to the
Kevin,
west of
it's
it.
near Kevin Brooks's barn, I think.
yeah, it's further to the west than that.
further towards Amherst Street, but on the
Okay,
left-hand
okay,
side, but you're right.
okay. So you're right, it's
There's
it's near Darrell Ave, okay,
But
okay,
you're right,
Yeah.
it is all sand in there.
yeah.
There's a little cabin which appears to be a residence, one door in and out, so there's no legal fire code egress if it's being rented, which is not, again, our problem. But there's a bunch of little houses back there, which appear to be maybe summer camps that became permanent housing. They did stick in a new D box. I don't know what each individual house has for water supply and any permitting for renting or ownership, because it's all common property by the appearance. But again, that might be the building inspector's domain and not ours.
Yeah, that's what I think. In our case, we're just the receiver of a Title V inspection.
Yeah. So that being said, I don't know, maybe we CC the current building inspector, whoever that may be, and give them a heads up, because if the realtor's involved, they're selling the place out, and I don't know if they're selling 2 houses, 5 rentals. I really don't know what's going on down there.
But we've actually got a letter from Greg before he left saying, hey, just want you to know this is what the deal is. And so it's in his domain, or it was in his domain.
Okay.
I don't even see what grounds we have for not receiving this thing. As long as we don't have to bless it, or we don't have to do anything. All it says is it gets received and it put in the file.
That's right, exactly.
No, that's absolutely correct about that.
So Bill and Lee, can we just receive this and put it,
Yeah, let's receive it with no further comment.
right?
Yep.
Okay, Colleen, that's
Correct.
what we'll do.
Okay,
The next one, Northeast paving contingency plan. After that one's gone back and forth, and we got the state sending a thing in saying, hey, this is no big deal. This is for wood that sits there for 6 months at a time. Don't worry about this. This is just a formality. There just had to be a plan, and don't worry about the fact that if their equipment breaks down, they only use it 2 times a year anyways. And they said, there's no deal with trucks. There's no problem. It sounded like the state was saying, please don't be making a lot out of this thing because it's not a big deal. So I don't, Bill and Lee, should we just again, receive this and let it go?
That's what I would recommend to do, Dick.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Colleen, I agree with that.
okay.
We've got the 2024 budget. Colleen, when do we have to have this one in, a draft in?
Let's see. I don't have it in front of me now. I forget. The beginning of, sometime in January. It's the beginning of January, I think.
Can you, my suggestion is for you to give it a shot at just going through. But as we look at this, what are Lee and Bill?
I put the
What?
I did put the 3% on everything. So and
Yeah,
I sent that.
is that the way we want to handle it, or do we? Certainly, Colleen's salary should go. If you look at inspections, we've got, which are the rest of, a big part of the budget. We've got our inspection, the plumbing inspector, the animal inspector. Those are tied in as a straight $35. So just increasing the inspection totals really isn't very meaningful. What do we do with this? Do we go in and change the inspection rate?
Yeah. Well, no, just backtracking a little bit, Dick. One thing I saw is I think your food inspection budget over time has been declining, has it not? For the food inspector, Lynn? Because I was looking at some historical data on her fees, and I think she doesn't typically spend her allocated monies on a year-to-year basis. And the problem with that is then I think every year we end up setting her bar a little bit lower, and she's been kind of going down over time. Is that not true, Colleen? Again, I looked at that briefly about a month ago.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it has gone down, whether, I don't know, it hasn't been used up, so then it went down. I don't know, but
Yeah,
yes, I believe.
and that's probably not a good thing to do, Dick. We probably want to at least level fund her. So we don't want to get stuck in a trap where she's not going to be covering her fees during a given year.
Then we've got to watch it.
Yeah.
Because the way that our warrant article is written is we're locked in to that $35 an inspection. And it's either for us or for someone that we hire. So
Yeah.
her number goes down if she doesn't go to places.
Right.
Then her total number goes down. So maybe what we've got to be doing, the two things we have to look at is, one, do you do it by asking her to do more inspections? Which is certainly a way that we can do that. And that would fit into our total numbers if she did more inspection. The other is the question whether the $35 an inspection is the right thing to be doing. My concern, and it was one that Herb had, and I think he certainly was justified in being concerned, saying, you know, you're giving the whole town is kidding themselves by having the Board of Health do inspections, and let's include Lynn in there, that the health and even plumbing inspections, but for certainly the health inspections being done at whatever it is, $16,000 a year. And Herb said, this is crazy. You've got 3 people or 4 people that are working for next to nothing.
That's right. Well, here's the question, Dick. What year was the $35 inspection fee instituted? Roughly.
I would guess. I'm going to guess it's 15 years ago.
Okay, well, let's go up to $40 anyway, right? At least
Yeah.
to cover inflation. If you accrue inflation over the past 15 years, particularly over the last 2 years, it
Yeah.
certainly justifies a 10% increase.
Yeah.
Easily.
Well, and besides that, if you look at our inspections are all covered by our fees. So it's not costing the town.
That's right. That's
any
right.
money.
It's self-generating. That's exactly right. Self-funding. That's right.
So
Well,
looking
didn't we
at
have
this thing, what, Lee?
I'm sorry, didn't we have a discussion a while ago? And maybe it wasn't this topic, but more in the construction industry, that the fee structure for Granby was so low compared to neighboring towns that we could have gone up 2-fold or 3-fold and still been within range. And I don't know if that's also true for the other inspections across the board that we perform. So
Well,
they were telling me that,
we raised the fees. We did that.
yeah,
Colleen came up with a new set and we put those in, but you think it's worthwhile to have Colleen call around some other towns and see how they're doing this? I'm going to guess, Colleen, you're not going to find many towns that have the boards of health actually doing the inspections. I think if you call out, maybe you can call some of the smaller towns, but
Well,
I
yeah.
think almost everybody is running a health agent to do these things. But-
Right.
I mean,
But go ahead.
no, I'm sorry. My only thought, going along with Bill's comments, but just to modify it, is that if we're going to be requesting a change, then having knowledge of the other towns to support our change and making the change worth the effort. In other words, if it's going to be a $5 raise or a $12 raise, whatever it's going to be, it's going to be the same fight. But if the other towns prove that we are 30% below the market, then that type of information will help us know what we're doing and help our argument be successful.
Yeah. You could look at what towns that are, Colleen, look at towns that are 5,000 to 10,000 person towns and see how they're doing it. And even
Yeah.
if it doesn't come out that the board members do the inspection, we ought to at least find out what their budget is. If they're doing it with some kind of a health officer, find out what their fee is for that position. But we ought to be, if it turns out that the average 5,000 person town or 10,000 person town is spending $50,000 on this function, our town ought to know that and get prepared to do it. Because if you look at what the what the state was saying about having uniform Board of Health procedures, this is coming. It's coming.
Mhm.
Correct.
And it really is, and Bill, in terms of what you are saying, and Lee, in terms of what you're saying, is that this thing maybe is not, is that $40, maybe it's not even close to what a real cost of what this thing should be doing. And going, Bill, back to saying about Lynn, that Lynn may be saying, you know what, this is crazy. It's not worth it for me to spend 2 hours for $35. Go find someone else.
Mhm.
And
Well,
we're gonna be
that
without
being said,
anybody.
Dick, what does Lynn get from the city of Holyoke? Or is she just salary?
I think she's salary.
Does
Okay.
Lynn get travel? Does she get mileage from us, Dick?
Yes.
But does she get time for her travel from Holyoke to Granby?
No, that's what this crazy then
Yeah,
worried
see?
about, is that she
Yeah.
gets $35. So if you look at Lynn saying, you know, I'm gonna go and make a housing complaint, she has to go, and if she drives 20 minutes and does an inspection, then she drives back and fills out a form, and by the time she's done, she's got 2 or 3 hours into something for working for, you know, $12 an hour. She should have stopped on the way at McDonald's and served some hamburgers and make twice the money.
You're right. Yeah. I think we have to revisit our fee schedules.
So Colleen, could you do that? Give it a shot, and let's see if we can. And
Mhm.
we'll just have to let Chris know that we're just looking at. It just seemed that just multiplying by 3.5% isn't what. That's not what's needed right now.
Mhm. Got it.
So.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, that argument is valid because, as you said, if Lynn decides that this is a little bit too ridiculous for her to make this trip, I don't think you're going to get somebody, and I don't know, but I don't think you're going to get anybody who would even glance at this thing if it's under $50, unless we throw something in for time and travel or some other incentive to come out and do this job. And you know, it's not always a pleasant job. You're fighting with shop owners, and you've got to keep up on the state codes, and there's a lot to it.
Yeah, and then if you think about what happened at the last town meeting, you saw it didn't go anyplace, but you saw the person that was running for the Board of Health against Bill get up at town meeting and ask town meeting to take that $35 and drop it to 15. So luckily it didn't go anyplace, but it just gives you an idea. What was it going to basically be? What's going to happen to us? That someone says, you know, Board of Health, we've decided not to pay you. We've decided not to pay for that function, even though it's a law that you have to provide these services. Our town's not going to pay for it, and we're not. We're doing the town a disservice if we don't let people understand what's going on. And you know, it you saw what was happening. You weren't here, Bill. You saw some of it. But if you look at what this board was doing with COVID, there weren't boards of health in this whole state that had a handle on COVID like this board had. And it's only because it was the three people that were involved. It's not because the town of Granby is great. In fact, if you look at the town of Granby, we couldn't get the people in the town of Granby to get vaccinated. And so it's not because the town is saying, boy, we're way out in front of the rest of the state in terms of public health. I don't think it is. But at least we would be doing our really the town of Service by letting them know what's happening and what will happen ultimately.
Well, we have to be fairly compensated for our service. You're right, Dick, absolutely. And
And even if
again,
it's not, even if it's not us, Bill, whoever's doing this job has to be compensated to do it. This is not
right,
a gratis kind of job.
that's right. And again, if you look at the cumulative experience of all of us, it's bordering on 100 years cumulative experience, Dick. Again, you've been on the board for almost 50 years. Lee, you've been 25, 30 years. I've been over 10 years, 15 years now. Again, we have a wealth of experience on this board, and Colleen as well, of course. So again, what's fair is fair.
Yeah. So we should take as our responsibility is to lead here and try to get the town in a spot, because whether anybody knows it or likes it, you've got the state saying there's a change on the horizon, boards of health, and we should be ready for it, and the town should be ready. So Colleen, we'll give that for an assignment when you're not doing anything. I'm laughing. So we've got another, we do have a letter that Colleen sent out. I don't have it in front of me, but it's on the Brooks Real Estate building. And we've got a person that asked about the septic system, and we probably should at least send her a response. She's concerned. But essentially she's saying she's close. She wanted to know about the septic system and whether it can handle the load of the animal grooming. And my feeling would be that we do get back to her and say that in this particular, it's kind of a small system. They claim that they're not going to be using a lot of water. On this particular system, Bill, Lee, I don't know how you think. It's a pump system. So if in terms of the new system, it's a Title V system. It went in. So in terms of filtration, it's a Title V system. But in terms of overloading, how do you really tell whether it's overloading or how they're using without telling them to put a meter or anything? But in reality, this is a pump system. So if they go in and they overload their leaching system, the world's going to know it, because it's going to be coming right out through that vent pipe.
It's certainly in a high profile location.
That's right. So my feeling is that we ought to send, and unfortunately I don't have the woman's name, but that we ought to send her back saying that the system for that building is a brand new Title V system with the proper distances from wells, that she shouldn't be concerned, and that in the event that the system that more water is put into the leaching field than it can handle, it will be evident, readily evident, as water would be pumped right out of the vent pipe. And so you shouldn't be afraid that something's going to happen without anybody knowing it. But it is a modern Title V system. Lee and Bill, what do you think?
Just to revisit that, Dick, did that have a 2-compartment tank and an effluent filter or not?
It has you'd have to look. I think it's a 2-compartment tank, but it absolutely has an effluent filter because it's got a pump. and that's required of the pump.
Okay, good. Well, that's good. Again,
But what
I would be,
we didn't do, Bill, is we gave them a variance, and that we did not require a two pump system, even though it's according to code, because it's not a single or a two-family house.
right, it's
that would
commercial,
need
right,
a second pump.
right.
But we had said because it's fed by fed by a well, that if it lost power, you would need a standby, and we said it's a small enough system that we did give them a variance to say we'd allow a single pump. Of
That's
course,
fine.
that stops their business really quick if the pump doesn't work.
Absolutely.
So we could at least send that person a response. And in reality, I'm guessing that when the owner came to talk to me, said they don't plan on using very much water anyways, and it's not really like a hair salon that you've got all sorts of nasty chemicals that could go on your hair to change colors, and on a dog or a cat, it's not the same thing. So anyways, what else do we have?
We had a couple of ladies that were monitoring, Dick. Do they need time with us? We had an Ann Zagrodnik and we had a Kim Raska that was monitoring.
Yeah, I don't know that no one said anything.
I think Kim was a realtor that called regarding this 94 and 96 Bachelor Street.
Okay,
No,
okay,
I don't know about the other person, but
okay.
Kim was the realtor that spoke to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm Ann Zagrodnik. I'm the trustee of the owner, my mother, who's the owner of the property. So I'm signing off right now, but thank you so much. Appreciate everything you've done. Have a
Okay.
great night. Happy
Okay.
holidays.
Have a good Christmas.
Okay,
You
thank
too.
you. Thank you, Ann.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
So
Okay, well, that answers that question.
it does.
Yeah.
I had just as a little point of reference. I have a sister-in-law that has a house in Wellfleet, and they're trying to increase the habitable space. They're keeping 3 bedrooms. They have 3 bedrooms, and they're going to stay with 3 bedrooms. But trying to find out what the Board of Health has some requirements. They actually put a requirement on their deed that says that they have to have any increase in habitable space reviewed by the Board of Health. And that's on their deed. And I told them, I said, I don't know what that means. It doesn't say approved. It doesn't say, it just says reviewed. But as you go into it and you try to, they were having a Zoom. It looks like it's a hybrid Zoom meeting, but I didn't get into the meeting, but to watch the meeting. But when I went back to try to see what went on, you can't find a recording of what happens at their meetings. And when you go and you look at their minutes, you can't, I'm guessing you can go after them and the public notice kind of things to try to get their minutes. But boy, to see how their board works compared to our board how it works is very, very different.
Well, I'm guessing any increase in habitable space on the Cape turns into a rental facility or
Yeah,
room rental or a B&B.
Yeah.
right? So that's probably what they're trying to guard against.
Yeah. Although when you look at them, you say, yeah, but all these houses are sitting there empty for most of the year. And they're getting all this free tax money. And the people that own these houses don't have they're not residents. So they don't have anything to say about what goes on in the town. And
Right.
it's
That's a good point.
it's interesting for sure on what they look at the outsiders. So anyways, are we done for tonight?
I think so on my end, Dick. I think I'm good.
I
Okay.
believe so.
I am, and everybody have a great and safe Christmas.
Okay, everyone
I
will be
guess
in
in New Year,
contact.
and New Year's too, I guess, huh?
Indeed.
Okay.
Okay,
Good
Merry
night.
Christmas, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay,
folks.
bye now.
Merry
Merry
Yep.
Christmas.
Okay,
Happy
good night.
New Year.
You too.
Thank
Bye.
you.